Hello, my name is Elizabeth, and I am the Casual Ethnographer. I welcome you to my very first episode. Today I had some errands to run, and I started with Target. I had a return to make, so I will take a quick walk around the store as soon as I get that done. This particular Target in Gig Harbor is one of the smallest ones that I've been in, but it's well laid out. Um, Here you can see on the right the ladies' clothing, and on the left is the beginning of the children's clothing. This particular Target tends to put some of their seasonal stuff right there where you see the bathing suits on the left. The men's section is straight ahead. It is profoundly small. Ladies' shoes there are on the left. Ladies' activewear is on the corner there on the left. Baby stuff is right there, diapers, wipes, and then it moves into things that you would need for bath time, toys. When my kids were little, we spent a lot of time at Target. They got a lot of our money for all things baby. Electronics is there on the right. Children's books are there on the left. The toy section, right past that agent there on the left. We spend a lot of time in the toy section as well. The exercise stuff is on the right. And then we start moving into the seasonal stuff. Candy, you'll see pet stuff on the left. Um, they're gearing up for summer, so you see garden things there on the right and towards the end. This is where the grocery section starts. The grocery section has grown over the years. Um, there are a lot of things there that we enjoy buying. Trail mix. Um, Sometimes we'll pop into the store for something, and it's just easy to grab a grocery item rather than to drive to another store. There's a look down an aisle. But they have a fairly fair selection: bread, lunch meat, eggs. They have a limited selection of fruits and vegetables. Um, they do carry a surprising amount of things that are for specialty diets. Here we're passing through the like the pharmacy section, personal care section, dishes and whatnot are on the left. Those red boxes that are being passed there, If you find an item and you don't know what it costs, you can go over and scan it rather than trying to flag down an agent or associate. Now we're moving towards the cosmetics area. This particular Target has a very small little outlet of Ulta. Ulta is a store that if you all are interested in seeing, I can take you into a rather large one that Gig Harbor has. But this one has a teeny tiny one. You can find just a few items. But Target does have a relationship with Ulta where you can order things on their website uh, from Ulta. Here we're heading over to Safeway. This is where I get my prescriptions. It used to be in Albertsons. They went through a major rebranding recently. Um, I believe they were purchased. I don't think it was a merger. So this store looks all brand new inside. They've got the floral department as soon as you walk in, and then you pass by Starbucks, and the pharmacy is at the very end. After I picked up my prescription, I decided to just walk around and show you guys the store. My phone kept giving me issues, so there's no sound, and I had to string together the video clips. But I wanted to give you an idea of what a typical grocery store looks like here in Gig Harbor. Frozen waffles. Um, these are little breakfast sandwiches that can go in the microwave. Um, I personally, while they're tasty, they're not very good for you. So it's not something that we keep around in the house. Frozen fruit. We eat a lot of this. My kids love smoothies. My little one loves to eat just frozen fruit in a bowl. Lunchables, we don't buy those anymore. Lunch meat, we're pretty picky about what brand we buy. My apologies, I had a really crummy cart today. It was not wanting to go in a straight line, so I was struggling with it. But there's hot dogs and bacon there, past those folks. Um, and then this is French fries. Lots of different options, chicken nuggets, chicken patties, chicken wings, all things that can go from freezer to oven, or in some cases microwave if you want it that way. Here's just a look from the back of the store, just looking around. It's not the biggest grocery store, but it's decent sized. Here's the chip aisle. I was in search of a specific bag of chips and I did not find it, but I looked pretty hard. There's the candy. I did find some candy behind this cart here. Move the cart. So my diet, my body's decided to reject some things. So I have to be very careful with the things I eat. This particular candy I have found to be dairy free, and it also, gluten free, all those things. Not all of the varieties in that brand are. I did find some chips. They weren't the chips that I was looking for. Um, what I was really on a hunt for was bagels, but I am taking you down the cereal aisle real quick so you can see just how many cereals are in American grocery stores. Here's some of the bread section. And finally found the bagels. There they are. My younger daughter, eats a toasted bagel pretty much every morning, and she's decided she doesn't want a half of a full size one. She wants one of these little guys. So, small bagels it is. Here's the produce section. Um, I had some salmon at home to cook, so I decided that maybe some tomatoes and lettuce would be good for a salad. So that is what I am in search of. This particular store has a pretty decent organic section. The US charge it here in the US it's charged more for if you want organic. There's the deli section, and I am headed over for the tomatoes right there, and then I will grab some lettuce. My husband just wanted pizza, so I got some of the French bread pizzas for my daughter and then a full pizza for him. Here I am unpacking the groceries, and again, I am so sorry the audio didn't work. Those are the chips, the brand of chips that I really like. What I wanted was their dip chips, but those are also good. They're grain free, and they're cooked in avocado oil, super tasty. Um, the dip chips, though, are stronger. So if you're looking to eat them with guacamole or in a nacho situation, they are a little bit better than just the standard chips. There's my daughter's bagels. She likes them plain, just toasted with cream cheese. She doesn't like the flavored bagels. And then I was trying to open this bag so you can see the tomatoes. They're the kind of tomatoes that are sold on the vine. Um, they tend to taste better. I really like heirloom tomatoes, but I didn't see any at the store today. There's my chocolate. I got the Hawaiian sea salt and the raspberry. They also make one that has candied ginger in it that is particularly good. There's also a brand of chocolate that I enjoy called Endangered Species. Um, they have a mint that's really good, and then their dark chocolate is also really good. But if you are someone that has to watch what you eat because of allergies, you should check these out. Be careful though, if it says caramel, that does have milk, so you're going to have to read labels to make sure that if you are dairy free, that you don't accidentally come home with something um, that will hurt you. Here's my husband's pizza. He likes to dump an entire can of jalapenos on it before it goes in the oven. But tonight he decided not to do that. He said, I will just take the pizza as it is. So I cooked it off for him. He had a couple slices before he took the girls to roller skating, skate night tonight. I found these. They're stick yogurts. We like to put them in the freezer. But what's nice about these, I've never seen these before, these are double the protein. A normal stick yogurt of this brand, the Go-Gurt, has 2 grams of protein per stick, and this has 4. And I try and get as much protein and fruits and vegetables in my kids as possible. So I know there's sugar in it, but you take your wins and your losses where you can. Here's my lettuce. I got this yogurt. I like this brand. The almond milk silk yogurts are good. They've got 5 grams of protein each. Typically, when I eat these, I'll put some nuts on top to add extra protein. They didn't have a lot of variety, so I just got the one. And then here's the French bread pizzas that I got for my older daughter. Uh, the little one didn't want any, so I made one for the older daughter, and then the little one wanted chicken nuggets tonight. And here is the receipt. We do have a club card. They like to call it at Safeway the U savings. So we saved $11.56. They charged me 16 cents for the bag, and that is the only taxable item. So there's a 1 cent tax. So the total balance that I paid was $38.39. Didn't buy very much today. I normally shop at a Kroger store. Up here, they're called Fred Meyer. Um, but like I said, I just had to run in and grab some prescriptions. And so I just picked up a handful of items. I pulled the other Go-Gurts out of the freezer so you could see what the regular packaging looks like. These are the ones that my little daughter likes. And this shows they do have 2 grams of protein per stick, whereas the other one is 4. She tried them when she got home from school, and she said she was not a fan. So I'm glad it's a small box. She can knock those out. Put my tomatoes away. Where do I fit them? Put them on the bananas for right now. Those bananas look like they're ready to be made into banana bread. In the 20 minutes I had between putting away the groceries and my kids coming home from school, I had a cup of tea. This is Stash. I believe they're made in Oregon, and this particular tea was Earl Grey decaffeinated. And this is my dinner plate tonight. Some baked salmon, a baked potato, and a simple salad. My salad is dressed in olive oil and balsamic vinegar and a little bit of salt. My baked potato, it's been hard since I've had to give up dairy, but I'll tell you the two items I found, and this is totally not sponsored. Nothing in this video is sponsored. This butter is amazing. It's good in everything. I use it in my mashed potatoes, my baked potato. I've baked with it. It's super good, and it's not full of all those weird things that a lot of the non-dairy butters have in them. So give this a try if you're in that situation. I've also had a hard time finding a good cheese. I have to be careful of pea protein. So this is a good one. So what is on my baked potato is that butter and this cheese and some salt and pepper. And now that I'm looking at it, I realized I forgot the chives. So I'm going to throw those on and then sit down to eat. The reason I am alone for dinner tonight is because my husband took my daughters to skate night, and that has given me the ability to be home and do some editing and work on this video. So I'm going to eat dinner, and they should be home pretty soon. Can you tell it's feeding time for the cats? Henry is waiting for his food. Are you ready? Okay. Henry is an old guy. He's going to be 14 in a couple weeks. Are any of you into sourdough? I have always loved sourdough, and when I went gluten-free, I couldn't believe the prices of sourdough gluten-free bread in the store. I want to say one decent brand was going for like $8 for 5 slices or something silly like that. So I started making my own. I grew my own starter, and then over time my body decided it didn't like rice anymore either, and rice flour is in the gluten-free flour I was using. So I gave some of it away and then threw what I had left in the garbage, and I started over. The old one I named Gertrude. This one is Bertha. Bertha here is a grain-free sourdough starter. And yesterday I made some wonderful discard muffins, and I'm getting ready to feed her now. So the first thing I'm going to do, now that I've got the cover off Bertha, is I want to give her a good stir. In sourdough, you get this clear liquid that will rise to the top sometimes. It's called hooch. And I just like to get everything stirred up before I add in my flours. With this grain-free starter, I use different flours pretty much every day. I've got kind of a rotation. And this is not me promoting any brand. This is just what I happen to have in the house right now. So the Simple Truth Organic, I'm not sure how you would say that, cassava. I use this flour, some of it, every day. And then today I'm going to use some sweet potato flour. I've also used buckwheat flour, almond flour, potato flour. I've got quite a few. Every once in a while I'll give her some honey to kind of get her going. I started her less than 2 weeks ago. She's doing really well. So I was impressed that I was able to get some muffins out of her yesterday. But I want to get her to the 3-week mark before I make bread. So I'm going to need to discard some of it, and I'm trying to decide what I want to do with it. If I want to make some pancakes out of it. Pancakes freeze really well. But I'm going to give her some food and some warm water, and then I'll show you what she looks like. So I removed roughly 170 grams of the discard. I did use a food scale. And then I fed Bertha. I was very imprecise. I just added some honey, the 2 flowers I showed you, and some warm water. Any kind of bread that you make, and these starters I have found, they like the temperature to be around 120 degrees. I didn't measure it, but I've been doing it long enough that it felt about 120 degrees. So I have cleaned her up around the edges. I have been told that if you don't do that, you run the risk of growing mold, which is harmful to the good bacteria that you're trying to grow to make your bread. I also moved my tape. This is how I know how far up Bertha's going to grow before she falls back down. I'm also going to cover her back up. This is just a piece of paper towel, 2-ply, that I have pulled in half, so it's just a single ply. So she'll sit on the counter and she'll relax. I still got to figure out what I'm going to do with that discard, but these are the muffins that I made last night. So these are vegan because I don't do eggs or dairy. So I used the same butter that I put on my baked potato, and in place of the milk, I used a almond milk. It's a really creamy one. It's super good. And then in place of the eggs, it called for 2 eggs. I replaced 1 egg with applesauce and another one with a mixture of baking powder, or avocado oil, and water. So it's a whole recipe that I've rewritten based off of a normal recipe, and it is also grain-free. For the add-ins, because you can add in whatever you want to these. This particular one, you can see there are dark chocolate chunks. This is an allergy-friendly dark chocolate, and then there are dried cranberries. So if you are new to sourdough, or if you've been doing it for a while, I'd be interested in your comments. What do you do with your discard? Excuse me. I've tried several different things over my journey. I've been doing this now about 1.5 years, and the muffins to me seem to turn out the best. But I think tonight we're going to do the pancakes. So Bertha has been rising now for a little while. You can see she's gotten pretty tall. She's still bubbling. She's already reached her peak and is starting to fall. Be nice to the tree.